Okay, so this is going to be the last video for part 1 of the basic urban footprint skills. And let me share my screen here. And for this one, we're gonna, I haven't downloaded and uploaded the tutorial for part 1C, which I'll do here in a moment, and they'll be up there for you. But for part 1D, you're going to choose a parcel in your city and create a land use map showing a half-mile circle around the site. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so if I want to have a land use map, I got to now go back into my base canvas and get out of the employment map. Okay, there's my employment map I just downloaded, right? That was from the last one right there. I'm going to go back into my land use category 3. And I'm going to, this is a park in my neighborhood. Let's say this is the property that I want to do a map of. Well, it's a half-mile radius around that property. Okay, well, what I need to do is I need to create a buffer. And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to click a buffer, but you got to select that. How do you select it? Well, you got these tools up here. This is a point selection tool. Go ahead and click that point selection tool. Go ahead and pick the parcel, Howard Park. I'm going to pick that parcel. So now I go into the buffer right here, and I'm going to do 0.5 miles, right? You can select it based on kilometers, feet, meters, but I want a half of a mile. And it tells me I have one feature of the 31,680 features in the city of West Palm Beach. Those are the different parcels selected. That feature is 29.708 acres. So that's the size of that parcel. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it as, I'm going to just call this half mile buffer dash Howard Park. Click OK. So now it's going to save this as a separate layer. And if I want to see it, I got to open that layer. I'm going to turn the base canvas off. And I'm going to click on that half-mile buffer layer. And there you go. Now, I'm going to go into the symbology, edit symbology. I'm going to make that a darker line. Right? Maybe that's too thick. But again, why is that gray? Oh, opacity is 80%. Let's bump that up to 100%. There we go. Oh, and why it's also gray, perhaps because it doesn't automatically select black. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So now why is that not a half-mile circle, but a half-mile oval? Not quite an oval. Well, because if I go back and I turn on my base canvas, I can see that this parcel is irregularly shaped. It's linear, north-south, and it kind of juts out a little bit here on the south side. So that's what this is. It's a half-mile distance from pretty much, you know, the center of or from the edge of the edge of the parcels, I believe. So now what happens if I, for whatever reason, the base canvas was up here? That would kind of disappear, right? You can see it because if I go into my base canvas and I click on style and symbology, my base canvas is at only 80%. If I bump that up to 100%, it kind of almost more fully disappears, except for some places here where it's see-through. So I got to make sure that that half-mile buffer is above the base canvas so I can see it. Okay. And I think that's all you need to do. if you want to, let's say, pick another parcel, like a small parcel, like let's say you picked one of these parcels, well, it would look much more like a true half-mile circle. Okay, but because this is long, it looks oval shaped. So I'll go ahead and export that. Change the title to half-mile buffer. Actually, I'll do Howard Park, half-mile buffer. And I'll go ahead and, because I'm showing the land uses, I'll go ahead and keep that land use on there. I don't think I need that half-mile buffer Howard Park line on there. I mean, you could keep it, but I don't think you need it. And then that shrinks down the legend significantly, so it makes it a fair bit nicer. And then I'll go ahead and export that, and that will download when it's finished and ready. And I'm done with that. All right, so that is the end of part 1, basic urban footprint map making skills. And I'll make sure all these are uploaded. Part 2, I'm gonna do next week. I don't have time to do that now, and that will take a fair bit longer, but I will ultimately end up doing very similar videos like that. But for now, I think if you can get through the basic urban footprint skills, that will hopefully get you learning and getting a feel for the program. So I look forward to seeing you in class soon.